Hi, you're welcome back. This is the Widow's Mite, a graceful journey. My name is Rita Ubebo Ni Enajipo. You're welcome. Today we'll be looking at raising children in Canada. What to look out for. You can put any other country instead of Canada. Like I always say, I tell you what I've done. So understand the school system. Yeah, from daycare to high school up to universities, know how it works. You come into a space, like I said, you are coming from a different kind of country. You're coming, no means check even before you land. Google, ask questions, call in. They are ready to give you information. Know how the school system works. For instance, your child is supposed to be in a school that is walkable to where you are resident, where you stay. So it makes sense. You're not going to be in school runs. The child comes home during lunchtime. It's walkable. And if you want your child to be in a different school, like you want to go to private schools or Catholic schools, I know there are more discipline in those schools, but even the public schools have rules and there's discipline there. You will now have to justify to the school board why your child should not school in a school that is close to where you stay. So there's a rule. There's a simple rule. You don't need to do dropping off in school with your car. You know how we used to back home. Not necessary. The child walks and he's streetwise. They walk with their peers. Yeah, you encourage that simplicity of lifestyle for your child early enough. Also, remember parent-teacher involvement. This place, you don't leave everything for school because it will be to your own undo. You get involved with the teachers. So attend school meetings, join school councils. Yeah, be visible. So when you're visible, it's not like you're trying to show my child's parent. You are understanding what the curriculum is for that school. You are understanding the way they do things. So if you are not in that space, I'll give you an instance. My daughter, when she came here, she was about 11. So primary school. I had offered to be in the volunteer with the school's council, parent council. And so I went in much earlier before other people came. So I was just going on the hallway, just walking around, and I kept seeing notices. I'm sorry to say, that was my first time of seeing what they call LGBTQ. I didn't know what it meant. So I kept seeing it, and I kept seeing things that were funny about giving permission to a child to attend the LGBTQ class. So I called my daughter out. She came, Mommy, you came earlier. I said, what's that those thing? He said, oh, my daughter was 11. She was going to explain to me. I was like, okay. So of course, that for me was an eye-opener. And so I started knowing about those things by being involved in the school, in my child's business, in the school with other parents. And you know, in that council where I volunteered, we were about 14 parents, and we're all women, and we had power to say, no, we would like this to happen. And when we propose a new thing or a new way of a policy or something, they will take it to the bigger platform. That's where all parents will now vote. So we made some changes. So yes, be a part of your child's academic, pair up. Work with the school's teachers and be a part of your child's life. Then of course, balance cultures. Teach heritage. Remember, your children, okay, you may have your children here, but even at that, you come from a culture. Teach heritage, embrace the Canadian values like independence. Yes, Canada loves her independence, and you too came with your own independence from where you come. You have a culture. For instance, I give another example. Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go. And when they grow up, they will not depart from it. Meaning that, raise your child. If you're a Christian, give them those values from home. You understand? You don't want your child going out there and is being told that she has the right to say, you're no longer a girl. I feel like being a boy. I'm trapped in this body. But if you had raised your own, in your own spirituality, when they say those things to them, they will say, no, I know I'm a girl. This is, I don't think what I'm saying out here is disturbing anybody. But I'm saying, you know your culture, raise your child accordingly. Yeah. Also, set healthy boundaries. Yeah. So we have the Canadian children. They are taught to question things. Discipline is, you balance between discipline and abuse. That one, my people, I will need to say it very boldly here. You don't go hitting your child. Come here, pam. That single act could cost you your child, being taken away from you to welfare, to be put in the system. Discipline. In my last video, I talked about using your words, where you tell your young children, 2, 3, 1, use, Kemi, tell me what the problem is. Don't cry. Don't break into tantrums. Use your words. So discipline, it starts from home. And you know, children, they see and they learn from what their parents do. I know somebody who said some weeks ago, she said she almost lost her child to the welfare because the child was not behaving well in class. And they say, oh, we're going to call your mom. And the child said, oh, don't call my mom. Don't call my mom. My mom is going to beat me. And they were like, what? That she was reported that the child is being beaten at home. So even though you think you're not beating your child in the public, you don't do it at home. You discipline them. You take privileges from them. We all have raised children. You take privileges from them. You understand? The carrot and the stick. You know how it's all. You discipline your child. You don't necessarily have to beat. Parents, that's a video for another day, and there are lots of resources out there raising a child in Canada. Remember, there is also the area of beware of child protection laws. Yeah, these laws are there. So know what's considered discipline or what's an abuse. Remember, the child is in Canada, the child is like a god to the parent and to the country. So know those laws so that you don't violate it without knowing, and there's no ignorance under the law. Yeah. Okay. Also, remember also that encourage extracurriculum activities for your children. That for me saved my black son. When we came in here, I was privileged to be in an all-white church, and I remember different parents in church, including the reverend. She said, Rita, we need to put Jaziel in sports. And my son was just 17, because I think somebody said the black young man is endangered, especially in this part of the world. And I'm like, okay. He was put in football, which he already liked. Keep them back to back extracurriculum activities. And by the way, did you know that playing a musical instrument in Canada for a young child can give them full scholarship in university? Yes. My daughter played the saxophone when she was in secondary school, junior high. And I was told that if she keeps this in university, she'll get a full-time scholarship. So while people are getting scholarships for being academically smart, reading medicine, reading, in the sciences, doing law, you're getting 80% CGPA flat, or your grades are so high, you get good scholarship. But even for music, I know a friend's son who is going to university. In fact, I also know a Nigerian young man who came in as an undergrad and plays the flute. There were 2 in my church, and they got full scholarship for playing. So encourage your children. Sports, music, arts, they are all those robotic stuff. And my own child went to robotic class, got a good engineering degree with a lot of bursaries and awards. She started early. So yes, do things, and those things keep them away from trouble. They keep them away from trouble. Trouble can be lurking everywhere, even in secondary schools. Yeah. And also there's also do the model integration. So you are coming to your kids, your children. I like to call them children because they are not baby goats. So I think kids are what baby goats answer. So we humans, we bear children and babies. So children learn how to settle by watching how you also settle. If you're a hustler, you don't have time for your children. They are also going to be hustling and don't have time for you. They will tell their problems to people out there, and that's not very good for you. I remember when we came in newly, the senior member of my school, she was the head of the Black Center. She told me, say, look, your children they could have rancor, they could have fights at home, but this is not their friends' business. When your children fight at home for whatever reasons, it's not your children's business to tell their friends, my brother did this, my sister. No, it stays in the family. Yeah. So you don't have any reason to tell a person in school, and the person tells their teacher, and the teacher takes it up with the authority without even calling you the mom or the dad. So we need to learn. Learning the culture is okay, but also bringing up your children right. Husband and wife. Someone said, there was some podcast I was listening to yesterday, says that when there are two types of discipline system in the family, father discipline like this, mother, no, the parents have to come together to have a common force on how to discipline their child. It's important. Yeah. So remember also, prepare to have the hard talk with your children. Bullying, racism, gender identity. Don't let the world teach your children. No. When one of my videos before now, I said my son, he was 17 in class. They were doing history of different parts of the world, and he was told how Africans were slaves. And this is something he didn't know back home in Nigeria. So he came home dejected. He said, Mommy, are we slaves? I'm like, why? He said, yeah, there was something they taught us in school today. I'm like, well, it's 17. I had to sit all my three. I said, this is how slavery started. And unfortunately, in our country, back in Nigeria, history was no longer part of our curriculum. So, after some years. So I had to teach my own children that we are blacks, didn't mean we're slaves. The school can teach what they want to teach, but you're not. Yeah. And so you need to have that hard talk with your children. Bullying, racism, gender identity. They are things you need to talk with your children early enough. No matter how big or small they are. The school teach them what they want to teach them, but you know what you teach them back home. And in some provinces, like Alberta, for instance, the school is pushing more on parents making the rules for their children, not the government. So have those hard talks. You were a girl child, you were a boy child, you were created, you were fearfully and you were wonderfully made. And so no one can tell you are not adequate, or you feel like I'm a boy in a girl's skin. No. You were born. When you were born, the sex is either female or male. And so you are one of them. There's no demilitarized zone. There's no in between. Your child knows that from home. So no one can tell them otherwise. The racism thing, you are black, you are white. They are just human colors. They are not races. There's only one race, and that's the human race. Tell your child that. So they respect other people who are not the same skin or hair texture with them. but they are not superior or inferior to anybody. These are the hard talks. These are the hard talks. Bullying. You don't pull somebody by the come here. No. You ask to use your words. And you don't tolerate somebody do the same to you. You report. You report. So people raising up children here, single moms, single dads, fully married couple raising your children, know the rules and know it early so that you don't fall. But I know of a parent, when I came in ULA some years back, she said, I lost my child to the system because I spanked her in the school. That child was, it was war for the woman to get, it took her years to get her child back. Yes, so we need to know what the culture is. This is not Africa. This is not Nigeria. This is a different world. You want to raise a child that's healthy, that's not, it's not battled at home and goes to the public and battles another child. No. You see, there's something we say in the church. I've raised my child well. I prayed for them. They can't go out and meet. So you start raising your own too. So my own that I've raised well will meet your own that I've raised well, and we can tangle together. And vice versa. Raise your child. Know the culture. Know what is right for you as a parent and what your child. And then you parents also know how you handle your issues at home. Handle your issues at home. Be wary of that because your child simply portrays who you are at home. Yes. So again, this is the widow's mite. It's a graceful journey. Follow me on other videos on my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let us raise great children. It's our duty. We're just custodians. Thank you, and see you in my next video.